question that caregivers are asking this afternoon about the coronavirus is, why aren't there more ventilators? That really isn't the question that we should be asking in this circumstance. I don't know about you, but most elderly people that I know don't want to be placed on what is called life support. Life support is what happens when our bodies cannot keep going, when we can't continue living because of a lot of medical conditions. A ventilator is the same as life support. So the question that we should be asking isn't about ventilators and why there aren't more ventilators. The question should be, if something severe happens to you, hi Don, do you want to be placed on life support? Most people would say no. That leads to the next question of, do you have your medical and your financial power of attorney documents done and your living will? A living will is that document that says, in the event of a life-sustaining issue, in the event that my health is so serious that I can't survive, do I want to be placed on life support? That's a ventilator, it's a feeding tube, it's other types of mechanical means to keep the body alive. The statistics show that older people put on a ventilator, survival rate after 5 days is 50%. After that, 77% of older people die within a year, and these are research statistics, I'm not making them up. The other thing that people don't consider is, if you're placed on a ventilator, will you be better off before you were placed on the ventilator or after the ventilator? These are difficult discussions. I have had clients in the past 20 years that I have been a caregiving expert that I had to turn off the ventilator. Let me tell you, you don't want to be in that position if you do not have to be. It's tragic. Most people who are put on ventilators don't have the health ability to survive. If they do survive and they come off the ventilator, they end up in places like an acute care hospital or a nursing home. Most of them are bedridden, and the rest of their life, they don't have quality of life. This is, I think, part of what people don't understand when we talk about the coronavirus and we talk about ventilators. The question is, not why aren't there more ventilators? The question is, do you want to be placed on life support? And if you survive being taken off a ventilator, what will your life be like? What do you want your life to be like? These are discussions about end of life, discussions about living wills, discussions about medical power of attorney. Who will be that person who has to decide to take you off of that ventilator if you don't survive? These are tough questions that nobody is talking about. I thank the caregivers for asking, and I almost feel bad about having this discussion with you, but if people ask, I will give honest answers, especially if I've had a personal experience with the situation. In this video post, there is a link to an article about talking to doctors about what is called a prognosis. A prognosis is, my elderly parent is sick, this is the situation, what is likely to happen? What are the percentages of survival? What will survival look like? What type of care will my elderly parent need? These are discussions to have today before you even go into a hospital, before you even have a life-sustaining issue. And if you are in the hospital asking about prognosis, it is so important. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. There is lots of helpful information there. Please keep the questions about what's going on and the coronavirus coming. I will keep going with the videos. Have a good evening.